Rahul Shah also joins us from Motilal Oswal. Rahul, hi, good to be speaking with you. What do you make of the move today on the tyre stock, CEAT as well as Apollo Tyres perked up right now? The news regarding price hike is something that the CEAT management had told us mid-month as well, that by the end of the month they will be taking a price hike of 1 to 2%, and that's played out exactly how they said. What then is leading to this excitement in some of these prices, in some of these stock prices, I beg your pardon? Rahul, the question is for you on the tyre stocks. Okay, so he's not getting the audio right now and we'll try and patch in, but I'm just wondering, with these price hikes coming in of Telecom, even these tyre stocks and others as well, I think ultimately it's the consumers who are going to pay more and the inflation would be more, because there's just a lot of chatter around it. And I think Abneesh from Nuvama was pointing out that this might actually dampen the mood as far as the rural recovery is concerned, because there's a lot of price hike coming in across the board. We'll have to see how it really plays out. But Naresh, any view on some of the consumption names, because they again have gone on the back foot, the likes of HUL, ITC, etc. Would you be a buyer or just stay away from some of these FMCG names for now?
So for now, it's a time to stay away because they've actually taken a hit from the very important resistance levels, some of them. So something like HUL 2700 was the top for the last almost 2 years. It went to those levels post the election bump up, and the stock has corrected, so does not look interesting. And the other names which look interesting have not corrected much. So something like a Marico, which went up from 520 to almost 660, has slowly drifted. So that could be interesting at 590 odd levels if it dips. Same is the case with the Dabur, which has moved up quite a bit, but a small correction. But if that comes to 575, 580, it would be interesting. So in terms of these names, I would go with Dabur and Marico on further declines of 3-4%.
Okay, Naresh, stay with us. We're going to take a very quick break on that note. When we come back, we'll try and connect with Rahul once again and get in some fundamental perspective on the markets. Back with closing trades right here in 18 hour. Looking quite okay after what looked like it's going to be a wobbly mid-session. Although actually, no, I spoke too soon, I think, because we flattened out from where we were just a few minutes back once again. But a lot of primary market action as well, and we spoke with Arun Gupta, the chairman and whole-time director, and Pranav Bansal, MD and CEO at Bansal Wire Industries. Here are a slice of our conversation with them.
You will see we are a growing company. Even in the last 10 years, we've been growing at about 18-20% for every year. There is no year in which we've not outgrown our last year's number. So we are in constant need of working capital and expansion money, and which is why the proceeds from this IPO is also going towards some repayment of debt and working capital requirement for our future requirements. I would say the industry is quite big today, being the second largest steel wire company in India. We still only have 6% market share. So we believe that we have a lot of room to grow even in the future. So we today have about 5 manufacturing facilities, 4 of which are running at very optimum utilization, all in Delhi NCR. And the 5th manufacturing facility is actually a facility that has just started this year, which is a Dadri facility, which is of course India's largest, but also one of the largest wire facility there is in Asia, with a capacity of 3.5 lakh tons every year. From the today 2.5 lakh tons, we have added this new plant of 3.5 lakh tons standalone, which has just started operations. I can't give you a specific number on this, but what I can say is, as a company, even if you see the last 10 years, we've grown at 18-20% every year. There is no year in which we have not outgrown our last year's number. If you look at our industry, being the second largest steel wire company today, we still only have 6% market share. So I would say the industry is quite big and there are a lot of opportunities. And if you look at even India today, which is where majority of our revenue comes from, I mean, we believe that it will grow at a faster pace than what it has been over the last 5 years, especially as per CRISIL. And other than that, about 11% of our sale also comes from exports, where 75% of our export is from Europe and US. So we see the future as good for us, and this will reflect in the expansion of 3.5 lakh ton Dadri facility as well.
Okay, a lot of primary action. We of course got the MQ management as well, and the listing of today, the debutant today, Stanley saw a good listing with a gain of almost 30%. But Naresh, I wanted your view regarding the auto sector. It's of course going to be in focus come Monday on account of the June data. What's your sense ahead of that? Would you be a buyer in any of these auto names, or just stay away for the data to be out?
So I would stay away for the data to be out because a lot of these names have done really well over the last 3, 6, 12 months. So the risk reward is not great. So there could be a pause if any negative data comes. So I would avoid the whole space and not going short also, given the trend has been very strong over the last few months. Would prefer auto ancillaries on all dips rather than autos at now.
Auto ancillaries versus pure play auto majors. In fact, let's quickly take it across to Srishti as well before we go back to Rahul Shah and get in his analysis on the markets and autos, of course. Srishti, tell us what is it that we can pencil in for the Moton sales?
Well, for the month of June, we are not expecting any great set of numbers across the segments. This month is expected to give us subdued set of numbers because first up, there's been no push because of the marriage season, and secondly, because of the delayed monsoon, some of the segments did get an hit because of the heat waves as well from the likes of two-wheeler segment as well as the tractor sales were not that favorable. But all in all, a decent month coming in, not major declines as well as what we are expecting. Firstly, let's have a look at the passenger vehicle segment here. In a single-digit decline on a month-on-month basis is what we are expecting. The leader could be Maruti Suzuki, wherein we are expecting a 7% decline on a month-on-month basis, while for Tata Motors we are expecting a decline of 2%, while for M&M Auto the sales is expected to be just flat. From the commercial vehicle segment, there could be some recovery or some jump on a month-on-month basis because this time we are expecting that Eicher Motors VECV expected to record 4% growth, and from Tata Motors as well as Ashok Leyland we are expecting a jump of 7 to 12%. When it comes to the two-wheeler segment, the build-up was quite positive that because of the monsoon there could be some growth in the numbers because of the sentimentally the news flow could be on the positive side, but because of the heat waves the sales or the sales number actually got delayed a bit from the likes of two-wheelers. Bajaj Auto, TVS, Eicher Motors expected to see a single-digit decline, while for Hero MotoCorp we are expecting a 15% decline on a month-on-month basis. Lastly, from the tractor division, a jump of a double-digit is what we are expecting on a month-on-month basis, while in the upcoming months the tractor sales are expected to do well.
Okay, Rahul Shah as well joins in back on the show right now. Rahul, hi, can you hear us?
Yeah, hi, good afternoon.
Okay, great. Rahul, just wanted your sense on how is it that you're approaching autos right now ahead of the monthly sales data, because a large chunk of the rally seems to have played out beautifully in the month gone by.
So I think the June numbers could be a little bit subdued. I think most of the things, I think 2, 3 reasons. So what we believe is, I think one is obviously the heat wave, due to which I think we expect that the N2 numbers to be flat on month. I don't think so anything major things happening in the two-wheeler space. In a passenger vehicles, looks like there will be a decline 10% to 12%. Well, and plus, obviously, we believe that even CV space and your tractor segment looks like to be a decline in between 18 to 20%. That is what we feel about it, and I feel that this is just was for this month. But I think what we believe is that the theme to be played is obviously the passenger vehicles. So we remain quite optimistic on the passenger vehicle play as a whole. So top bet in this space remains Maruti.
So that's the view coming in. June might be a bit soft, but nonetheless, there are other tailwinds to watch out for. But one of the tailwinds for the telecom sector, Rahul, has been that hike that has come through, right? Is today just a sell-on news, and then perhaps there could be the resumption of rally come Monday? Or do you think for now the best is baked in and perhaps it's best time to book out the profits?
So my sense, I think we've seen that. I think Bharti as well as Reliance. I think Bharti has a spectacular run up in last 1 year. If I look at it, one of the best performing stock in the Nifty universe as well. So we continue to remain bullish on the entire segment as a whole, and I think this is just the beginning. After a long time, I think we've seen that the tariff hikes have come place. So sense is I think we might see continue to re-rate this sector. So we remain quite bullish on the stock, and I think way the stocks have performed, I think this will continue. Will be a continuation in that. So Airtel remains a top bet, followed by Reliance in that space.
In the meantime, Wockhardt is, of course, holding up smartly. The stock has surged up about 22% in the past 1 month as well. We will be cutting across to the conference call that they are hosting. But it seems that the street is extremely enthused about the drug test update. That's WCK 5222, which they're going to also announce. They've already mentioned that it's an investigational antibiotic which is under investigation to treat complicatory UTI infections. So that's one stock which is in focus, of course, this afternoon. In the meantime, there's Alembic Pharma as well. They've received a US FDA final approval for one of the capsules. So that's another stock which has also been holding out well for the better part of today's trade. But then it's softened from there and lying flat as we speak right now. Rahul, where within pharma are you scouting for opportunities?
So I think pharma is a space. I think we've seen a mixed bet in that space. I think in large cap space, I think Sun remains our top bet. So I think if we look at it post their numbers and the management guidance of single digit growth in current year, so post that we've seen a decent fall in the Sun Pharma post numbers. So my sense, I think overall the stock continues to remain strong in the specialty businesses and plus the oral businesses. So among the entire pharma play, I think risk versus reward and plus the valuation remains quite convincing in Sun. So I think Sun is one of our top bets in the entire pharma pack.
Taken. Naresh, I wanted your view regarding MGL and Star Health. For MGL, of course, Nuvama has come out with a fresh note. They have a buy stance on the stock. They are calling that July 5th release of the Bajaj Auto CNG bike as the big trigger. We'll just pull up those flashes for you on the screen because that's the stock we're talking about, MGL, wherein they have the target price of 1,503. They have a base case scenario that this bike could add almost 6% to the company's volume. And in a bull case scenario, this would mean that perhaps 10% more volumes can come if this bike does take off. Separately on Star Health, of course, there was the analyst meet that happened yesterday. They're envisaging a growth which is 1.1 to 1.2x of the industry average, a target of 2,500 crores with respect to profitability by FY28, and they're expecting to see quite an accelerated growth as far as FY28 is concerned. Naresh, on the charts, MGL and Star Health?
So starting with MGL, that's been the leader in the gas space because that's the stock which actually gave a breakout and sustained well. After that breakout about 1200, then after that for the last few months it has been consolidating an exact double bottom around 1200, 1250. The recent highs were around 1550, 1580, which has been taken out today. So a clean breakout here. We are seeing a similar breakout happen in IGL as well as a Gujarat Gas or even a Petronet LNG. So seems gas is the next rotation. So out here positive on the stock, expecting further up moves going forward. Star Health has been a stock which has been sideways and testing that 500 mark multiple times over the last 2.5 years. So for now, today, it's given the first indication of a trend change. The previous highs are around 560 to 580. If it can sustain above those levels, that would be a clean breakout. So for now, would wait for some more follow-up action over the next couple of sessions. Because today is more an event-driven one-day action.
Right. Okay, that's a bunch of buzzing names which we're tracking right now. In fact, Nitish Mittersen from Nazara Technologies, which also is, by the way, a buzzing stock today. We spoke with him earlier today and he shared with us his outlook on the factors that are going to aid the revenue and profit going forward.
We expect that in FY25, the AdTech business will grow much faster, both in terms of revenues and profits, as compared to FY24. Also, the AdTech business has a lot of synergies with many of the other businesses of our company, which includes user acquisition for the games that we develop, monetization through advertising. So there are several other benefits also that are accruing to us. So overall, we are very positive about this business. And this year, we should at least grow by 30% in the AdTech business. So we are definitely looking at new acquisitions. As you know, the company has raised a good amount of capital. We raised 950 crores in the previous year.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.